What's up, Sticks and Hacks? This is a qualifying round for the 116th Texas Amateur. It is by far the biggest event that I've ever played and the best field of any tournament I've entered. I'll be playing against former and current college golfers half my age who've hit hundreds of thousands of more golf balls than I have in this year alone. But if my goal is to win the US Mid-Am, you gotta start somewhere, and this is a good way to measure just how I stack up against an elite field. Let's jump right into the first hole at Coyote Ridge. The first hole is a short par 4, and we're starting one tee box up, which means it's just a 5-iron. Get something in play and have a shot at the green. Honestly, I didn't expect to be this nervous. I had trouble sleeping, my heart was pounding the entire way to the golf course. I usually get nervous before tournaments, but this was an exceptional amount of nerves. So when I got this 5-iron in play, I was pretty stoked. I found the right half of the fairway and we have just a wedge, but the nerves make me catch this one a groove low and get a little more out of it than I intended. It goes over the green, but just onto the apron. It's not a bad result, and we get to put a putter on this ball. I've been practicing with the Texas wedge, but this was a tough putt. It's over a slope that could run away from you, and I know the greens are a little tricked up for this event. So when I snuggle this up there to a tap-in distance, again, I'm pretty stoked. A first hole par, just like I drew it up. A great start to my qualifier, and on this channel, we don't get mad at easy pars. We jump right into a scoring opportunity on the second hole. It's a short par 5 that's generally reachable with a good tee shot. I hit this further left than I wanted, but it covers the bunker and ends up in a really good spot. We get free relief from the cart path, and we're between clubs. After a short conversation with Trey, we elect to hit the shorter club. We're trying to leave an uphill chip to give us a chance to get up and in for birdie if I don't make it all the way to the green.
That works. Yeah. It's right where we want to be, especially with the dog right there. That was close to a disaster.
We're easing into this round, and I've left myself a perfect little chip, but a little tentative. I avoid the disaster of missing the green entirely, but that was a mediocre effort from just 35 yards. Keep making easy pars though, and I got a feeling that we'll qualify. I don't need to shoot a crazy low score, just play my game. The putt leaves a little more meat on the bone than I wanted, but it's another easy par. I'm even through 2, and if you follow this channel, you know how much I hate this third hole. It's a narrow green on a hole that plays typically very long, over 240 yards, but the Texas Golf Association surprised me. They moved us up an entire box, so we're only playing it at 220 yards. It's still between clubs, so I elected to hit the 5-iron as missing short is okay. I just never committed to this. Too many bad memories and I straight sculled this into the lake. A disaster, as that's basically an automatic re-tee. The second one is a little better, but it doesn't find the green, and I'm trying to get up and down now for 4. A mediocre chip and a missed putt means that's a 6. After 2 easy pars, we just tripled the third hole. That's obviously a disaster, but I know I hate that hole, and most of the rest of the golf course is much more comfortable for me.
Much better.
While it's reachable distance-wise, the second shot is not comfortable for me, and based on my practice round, I used the Tangent Explore mode to plan to make this a 3-shot hole. I'm going to make birdie the old-fashioned way. We put in the fairway, take a more aggressive layup with a longer iron here, but that puts us pin high on the left. After a fantastic wedge, we have just a short birdie right around 8 feet to feel pretty good about my first 4 holes. The greens are lightning, and I'm pretty sure this ball changed direction 4 times, but it finds the bottom of the cup, and I get back to 2 over through 4. A bounce back birdie is just the answer we needed. We've got a long way to this back pin. The greens are narrow, so I'm hitting a 6-iron just to try to get it anywhere close and hopefully put a putter in my hand. Into the wind, this comes up short just off the front edge. I make the decision to putt here, but the pin is way over a big hill, and the one thing I did not want to do was be tentative. I left myself a lot more than I bargained for. While I would have liked to have hit it closer, 15 feet past is much better than 15 feet short. At least now, I have a putt up the hill and a chance to make par. If I'd left it on the other side, I'd have a devilish downhill putt and be playing defense. I actually catch a piece of the hole on the way by, but this was too aggressive. Now I've got 4 feet coming back for bogey, and after I miss that, I have another 4-footer. I make that to avoid triple, and it's effectively a 4-putt double bogey. The 6th hole is not a long hole, but we're playing into the wind and it's important to get it in play. For some reason, this hole always talks me into hitting it a little bit to the right. I find the fairway and we're continuing to stack up mostly good shots. A good shot from the fairway covers the bunker, gets on the green, and now I've got inside 30 feet for birdie. And I'm barely hitting these putts. They had the greens rolling about as fast as they can get them at Coyote Ridge, and I can honestly say I've rarely played greens this fast. So it's hard not to feel a little defensive. The 7th hole is a cool par 3 way down the hill. I typically play this hole pretty well, but it's a total guess for distance today, especially because I can't use the Tangent AI Caddy, so I'm trying to factor in both distance, elevation, and wind. It's difficult, but I do a good job. I get that on the green, and I have a putt for birdie. The problem is, these putts are not easy. At Penn's on a side slope, there's no way to get this close without making it. I just watched my playing partner's ball trickle 10 feet away. And I drip that into the top edge. It's a great par save, and we're grinding well early. A straight par 4, nothing super tricky here on the 8th, just get a tee ball in play, and I was a little too conservative on the right-hand side, finding a fairway bunker. I'm a decent fairway bunker player, and while this shot was not great, it finds the front edge of the green, and we're putting. I'm just trying to get the pace right, I'm settling into this round nicely, and I managed to walk away with an easy tap-in par. The 9th is a tough one, with a lake down the left and a pretty narrow tee shot, but after playing it a few times and using Tangent's Explore mode, I'd rather drive it further and give myself a shorter iron into the difficult green. I do a good job to find the right side of the fairway, but found a bit of a nasty lie here. It wasn't marked as ground under repair, so I had to play it, and I hit a really good shot. 8 feet for birdie to shoot 3 over on the front side, but I overread it, and that's another tap-in par. Look, a 40 on the front 9 is nothing to write home about, but with a triple on the 3rd hole and a double on the 5th, I'm pretty happy how I grinded. We took a beating, and we survived it. We still have a chance to qualify for the Texas AM.
Nice flight. Got no idea where we're going, so I assume it's good.
The second shot layup is not any easier, especially for somebody who draws the ball. I've got to hug this creek, but I hit a perfect layup down the right-hand side. Just a wedge to an elevated green, and one of the hardest greens to hit on the golf course. This ball comes up just short in the rough. Not the best wedge I've ever hit, but we got away with it and come dangerously close to holing this chip. It's another tap-in par, and we don't get mad at easy pars. If you watch my practice round, you know that I'm not a big fan of the 11th hole either. Par 3 that favors a fade and generally plays very long. But again, the TXGA surprised me. They moved us a tee box up. We were only playing it at 200 yards, and I honestly just felt unprepared standing on this tee box. I convinced myself that I was going to be hitting hybrid and laying up, and now all of a sudden I have a 5-iron to a tough green. And if I'm good at fairway bunkers, I'm not very good at greenside bunkers, particularly where the green runs away with a creek on the other side. I leave 11 feet to save bogey, and all of the grinding I've been doing, I'm just throwing it away on the par 3s. I'm 5 over on the par 3s and 1 over the rest of the golf course through 11 holes. So all right, we've taken some lumps, but the golf course gets easier from here on in. It fits my eye a little better, and there's not many difficult holes left. I had a good drive on 12, which leaves a wedge. Don't quite get it on the green, but it's another Texas wedge from just off the green, and another good tap-in par. We've done a good job of bouncing back from poor holes immediately on the next one. Now if we could just eliminate the bad holes. The 13th is a tough tee shot. It's narrow, and gets narrower the further you hit it. So we go with just a 2 hybrid, and I hit this exactly where I wanted, but it one hops into an unmaintained area just right at the fairway. You can see where Trey is standing is fairway, and I'm only about 9 feet away, just on the other side of a cut stump that you can see. My ball is resting on the roots of a stump from a maintenance job in progress. It's just an awful break in what was a pretty good tee shot.
There you go. Good swing.
At this point in the round, we're 7 over, and it's looking more and more difficult to qualify for the Texas AM. But I need to keep my head steady and just continue to work on grinding. I'm starting to feel the qualifier slip away, but I want to finish as high on the leaderboard as I possibly can, which is why the frustration starts to build when I miss this par 3 short. After the last 3 holes, I'm starting to get nervous, and despite leaving this in a pretty easy spot, I don't hit the best wedge, and for the first time, I bogey 2 in a row to take me to 8 over par. I've got a few scoreable holes left and a chance to get back in this round, but it starts with a tee shot on this par 5. After 2 bogeys, my mind is reeling, and I try to steer this one and steer it right into the hazard. After a drop, all I can do is punch out and try to hit a good wedge, but the world is starting to spin faster as I blade this to the very back edge of the green. For the first time in this round, we've strung several bad shots together in a row. I've left myself with a really difficult putt over a ridge from a long ways away. Sound familiar? I was still being aggressive. I wasn't scared of it. I avoided the cardinal mistake of leaving it short, but I've effectively putted it off the green, and we're trying to save face. This ends up being a double, effectively a 3-putt, and we're 4 over the last 3 holes, and it's starting to set in that not only am I not qualifying, I may not be breaking 80. 16 is a difficult tee shot, especially for somebody who draws the ball, as I have to aim it over these trees. I get a little unlucky here, clip a tree and get knocked backwards, but now I'm compounding mistakes by making poor decisions. Moving too fast, I tried to bite too much off. My punch shot goes through the fairway across under this pine. I take it unplayable and did all that I could to punch this to the front of the green. Another difficult putt to a back pan across a big slope. It's going to swing a ton, and the weight on this was phenomenal. I've got 4 feet to save double after the penalty, but these greens are lightning. I barely tap this, miss the hole, and have 12 feet coming back. I lipped that one out, and that's a 4-putt for an 8. Look, if you came to this channel to see good golf, today's not that day. Golf is a journey, and I've got to show the bad with the good. I wasn't the only one struggling. My playing partners were also not breaking 80, and in fact, one of them had a bad enough attitude to quit after this hole. But I'm not quitting. I've got to learn from every opportunity. The 17th is a short par 4, and I've got an outside chance to get close to it. See if we can score and finish the round strong. I drive down the right-hand side and have just 40 yards into the green to save some face. After a good wedge, we've got just 6 feet. But I overread it. We don't get mad at easy pars, but we are getting frustrated. 1 hole left, tough hole back into the wind. I pipe a drive down the left-hand side, just a wedge onto the green, but my mind has left the golf tournament by this point. I preach on this channel not to quit on a golf round. There's a lot that can be learned by grinding every little shot out, and as good as I typically am at that, right around here is where I quit on this round. I realized I wasn't going to achieve my goals. I'm frustrated because I feel like I've hit the ball better than I've scored. I'm also frustrated because I'm not where I wanted to be. I did not expect to be in a position where I might not even break 90 in my first big qualifier. But that's no excuse for giving up. I did not give this hole my full attention. I duffed the bunker shot, hit the second one poorly to the back of the green, and then played a little hockey. The greens are tough and fast, but my first putt was pretty good. My second one was awful, as another 4-putt ends in an even 90. I went from being proud of how I'd battled through 10 holes to really frustrated with myself for quitting on this round. While I couldn't use the Tangent app for the AI Caddy during the round, I can use it for the round report to figure out how to get better. That 90 had potential to be a 75. If I can eliminate the easy stuff, 6 3-putts, 2 2-chips, 3 penalties, and 4 recovery shots. Ouch. And a 75? Well, that's just 1 shot short of qualifying. As bad as this round was, I beat 6 other players, so I wasn't dead last. And another 16 quit because of how hard the course was playing. I had the guts to post my 90, so I like to think that I actually beat 22 players in this qualifier. My strokes gained were all over the place. I fell apart late. I only lost 3.5 strokes to an Elite Am on the front 9, with a double and a triple on the card, but I lost almost 14 shots on the back as I ejected from the tourney. I'm not as far away as it seems, but it has to get better. Next time on The Good Miss.